Doctor Strange not only introduces the Sorcerer Supreme, but also magic in the MCU. After inducting gods, aliens, and Ant-Man in their universe, it only figures that Marvel would expand their horizon more. Dr. Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, is an excellent neurosurgeon, but very full of himself. His reputation is ruined when he gets in a car accident, leaving his hands damaged beyond repair. In real life, he would have been dead if he had an accident like the one of the film. But because this is a comic book movie, desperate for healing, Strange finds himself in Nepal where he encounters the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. To open his eyes, she takes him through this bizarre, trippy voyage to other dimensions. He then trains to learn the mystic arts, along with the help of Carl Mordor, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Soon Doctor Strange is forced to use his new powers to stop a former student of the Ancient One named Caecilius, played by Mads Mikkelsen, who is bent on bringing the Dark Dimension to Earth. You may have guessed that I am a Benedict Cumberbatch fan, so I was really looking forward to this movie for the lead alone. And while Cumberbatch does fine in his role, his American accent was a bit distracting. It sounded like he was going for Hugh Laurie's tone as House, but the change in his inflection isn't all that convincing. I mean, Martin Freeman sounded more natural as Everett Ross from Civil War. I see no issue in having Doctor Strange sounding English. Cumberbatch's normal voice is flawless. But I hope he would work on making it sound more natural. You also have Rachel McAdams as Strange's romantic interest, Christine Palmer, who ironically played Irene Adler in Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Sherlock Holmes, so this was a nice pairing. But on to the elephant in the room. There was a lot of controversy surrounding Tilda Swinton being cast as the Ancient One. In the comics, the Ancient One was an old Tibetan sorcerer, and many accused this casting choice of whitewashing. The makers said they didn't want to go into stereotype territory, while another factor is China, one of Marvel's biggest markets, is not very fond of Tibet. With all that being said, how was Swinton's performance? I thought it was good, but it would be more than acceptable to have an Asian actor or actress in the role, regardless of stereotypes. I didn't have high expectations for Mads Mikkelsen as Caecilius because... But he does alright. He's even given a couple of humorous moments, like when he first encounters Doctor Strange and it turns into a Monty Python sketch. What brings you to Comitage, Mr. Doctor? Mr. Doctor? It's Strange. Maybe? Who am I to judge? It is also interesting in how they're a bit similar, wanting to save lives in their own way. Only Caecilius shows Strange the dark path one could take when learning the mystic arts. Another standout, ironically, is an object in the form of the Cloak of Levitation, who has a mind of his own, protecting Strange and fighting baddies in a comedic fashion. To top all of this, the visuals are so enthralling. The way magic is conjured up may seem very familiar from a certain Christopher Nolan film, but I felt this was taking it to another level. Watching it in IMAX 3D really elevated the whole experience. The climax was interestingly different in how Strange uses the Eye of Agamotto, a relic that can control time, to repeatedly make a bargain with Dormammu, the ruler of the Dark Dimension. I knew right away that Cumberbatch also portrayed Dormammu because he sounds exactly like Smaug from The Hobbit. You come to die. Your world is my world, like all worlds. This is like Charlton Heston as Moses talking to himself as God, or Val Kilmer as Moses talking to himself as God. In short, Doctor Strange is visually unique and makes way for a new element in the MCU. It's not one of my favorite Marvel movies, but it is decent enough to be worthwhile. As I said, it is incredible in IMAX 3D, but sufficient on its own. I am definitely looking forward to seeing Doctor Strange returning in more movies. I can only hope that I can get used to his accent, but I could always watch Cumberbatch videos and interviews as a palate cleanser. Doctor Strange gets my modest approval. Well, I did it. I reviewed all the MCU movies. Check out my written reviews for Iron Man through Captain America on my blog. Speaking of Iron Man, I really hope he and Doctor Strange would share a scene together and make a Sherlock Holmes reference. It would be such a missed opportunity if they didn't, and one I would not take lightly. I could take all the 4 shifts and other things, but this would be the ultimate disappointment. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Not only would I review this year's Marvel movies, but I will be also reviewing all the Spider-Man movies in anticipation for Spider-Man Homecoming. Till then, I'll catch you later.